The Baltimore Ravens at 7-3 travel to Jacksonville to take on the 3-7 Jaguars. Ravens favorites in this one by 4 points with an over-under of 43.5. Aaron, the Jaguars enter this game with a great point differential in the NFL, plus 11 in terms of point differential this season. Still yet with 3-7 record, they have a better point differential than most of the teams in the AFC South and most of the teams in the NFL, but still finding ways to lose. They're a young team. We talk about it all the time. On the flip side, Lamar Jackson, 23-3 in his career against teams under 500. It's a good matchup for Lamar. It's a tough matchup for the Jacksonville Jaguars. What do we expect? Let's actually talk. Let's talk specifics here instead of me just asking, what do we expect? Lamar Jackson over the last 3 weeks has not been phenomenal. It hasn't been easy for Lamar Jackson. He's been without Rashad Bateman, banged up Mark Andrews. Last week they were able to get the win, but it was only a 13-3 win against Carolina. They've been kind of squeaking out those wins, but wins are wins. Where are we at with the Ravens? Like, I know I feel like your answer is going to be very easy to me because you're like, it's Lamar Jackson, it's the Ravens, I don't give a shit. But give me some analysis here on why we shouldn't give a shit on what we're seeing from the Ravens.
Because when you say things like he hasn't looked that good, you used that term earlier in the season too. You're comparing it to what he looked like the first 3 weeks of the season. But that's not what the Ravens are. It's not the Ravens' game plan. That's not what they do. That's not what they want to do. They are this type of football team. The numbers will rarely, especially in the passing game, stand out. I feel like Lamar's played well. Lamar plays well when he doesn't turn the football over. And when we talk about turnovers in the last 4 games, he's thrown 1 pick, and it doesn't matter how many touchdowns, like 2, 3, I don't know what he's done. But they run the football a ton, so that's going to be a part of it. You also have to take into consideration his rushing ability and his rushing yards. That counts as his production. I don't judge Baltimore the same way I judge Kansas City. It's not the same way I judge the 49ers or the Buffalo Bills. They are a different football team. Their scheme is different. They are a heavy 2 tight end personnel team. They want to beat you 13-3. They want to beat you 16-13. They're not out here trying to beat you 38-3 like Kansas City. Like, that's not their game plan. It's not what they do. They're not built that way, and they know that. I use this all the time. Identity is everything in the NFL. Identity is everything. You have to know who you are. In the Baltimore Ravens, there is no team that knows who they are more than the Baltimore Ravens, and they live that, and they're okay with that. They win ugly. They don't care. The win is a win for them. This is not, Josh Allen's playing bad. He's throwing red zone picks. It doesn't matter. Lamar can throw red zone picks if they get the win. That's Lamar. Like, they have built this team so it can sustain and withstand stuff like that, and people don't like it because it looks ugly. And so the first thing we say is, well, they're not playing well. I would argue they are playing well. The defense is playing extremely well, and Lamar Jackson is making enough plays to win football games. So I could care less. I couldn't care less what the numbers say, because at the end of the day, Lamar Jackson is a game changer, and that offense, when they need it, he's able to do it, and they're able to win. And you look at it, they're sitting atop the AFC North, which is a tough division, and they're in a good spot in the playoffs and going to be one of the tough teams to beat.
I guess when you talk about saying, okay, the stats, it does not, like, they know their identity. Lamar Jackson, 5th worst passer rating in the NFL since week 4 this season, hasn't. But like you said, it's not about it's not about the passing with Lamar. Like that, it doesn't matter. Like, it will never be about the passing with Lamar Jackson. Okay, it will never be about it.
Since week 4, they lost 1 game.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. And the Ravens' second easiest remaining strength of schedule in terms of win percentage against their opponent's win percentage. Like, it's not going to be struggles for the Ravens moving forward. And when you look at the stats, it's like, okay, it does not matter when it comes to the Ravens. Like, this team, you have to judge them a little differently. But in the playoffs, it might matter. But specifically with this game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, a team that's 3-7, Aaron, what do they have to do to pull off the upset?
Well, they can't turn the football over. And right now, Baltimore's doing a really good job defensively. They're getting healthy at the right time. Marcus Williams is supposed to be back. It's going to be tough. That's tough sledding against a tough defense. I think Jacksonville has to lean on play action a lot. You want to get an aggressive defense, especially like Baltimore's, to move side to side. to bite for fakes. And then Trevor Lawrence has to be accurate with the football, but he has to be decisive. Can't hold on to the football against this defense. They're going to be coming after him, and they will capitalize on those mistakes. So it's got to be a clean football game for Jacksonville. Very similar to what I say the Giants have to play every week. They have to play for sure this week. They cannot turn the football over. They have to probably steal a possession from Baltimore to maybe get something out of special teams from Jamal Agnew, a big play there, something like that to kind of turn the tides of the games. But overall, it's going to be tough sledding for them. I think Baltimore's on a roll right now. They're feeling good about themselves, winners of 4 straight. And like you said, the schedule down the stretch, pretty easy for the most part. A lot of division games. They do got 4 division games left, which makes it a little harder than it looks when it comes to that straight the schedule. 3 of them on the road, so there is that. But I think that Baltimore's in a good spot right now, and I'll just give my prediction now. I think Baltimore wins this game 24-17.
Yeah, I think I also think this is a Baltimore win. I have it 27-24 or 27-23 for Baltimore in this one. Something that needs to be brought up. This is the return of the mayor. This is a revenge game for the mayor. Revenge game for Calais Campbell returning to Jacksonville. He was the mayor of Saxonville during that 2017 run. He's going to get 2 sacks in this game on Trevor Lawrence. Book it. Put your money on it right now. Calais Campbell, 2 sacks on Trevor Lawrence. Give it to the mayor. Very well loved in Jacksonville. But it will be a tough day for the Jags as they lose yet another one, or as they were predicting them to lose another one, dropping them to 3-8. 27-23 on my end. Clean sweep for the Ravens as a whole over the Jacksonville Jaguars.